Not in my book, not the zero in my book.
This meeting will come to order. This is the regular meeting of the 29 Palms Water District Board of Directors. I don't have a pen. I can't think without a pen.
There's your pen.
All right. This is June 26th, 2024. It is 4 p.m. 1600. The agenda is as follows, and I'll let you read through it, mainly because the medications I'm on really mess with my eyesight. So, and Bob doesn't want to do this.
I didn't say that.
All right. Call to order and roll call. Miss Cindy, can we have a roll call?
Yes. Director Archer?
Present.
Director Coghill?
Here.
Director Giannini?
Present.
Director Leeser?
Present.
Director Wood? Here. All present.
Thank you, Cindy. Next is Pledge of Allegiance. Carolee, I have a big audience to choose from. And I choose you. Would you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Amy, take the microphone off.
Now you have to remind me, you put the microphone on.
All right, hand over your heart and ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I have to say it's really good to see you. Are there any additions or deletions to the,
Agenda.
thank you, Bob, to the agenda? Some of you know, I've read this so many times, I almost have it memorized.
You did well.
All right, public comments. If you have any public comments, please obtain a thingy from Cindy and fill it out, and then we'll get you on the docket, on the menu. All right. Bob, will you take over from there on
Okay.
item number 1?
All right.
I just,
Item 1, public hearing on proposed continuation of water availability assessment. And we're to hear public, I'm sorry, the board is to hear public testimony at this time. So I need a motion to open the public hearing.
I'll make a motion.
a second.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing is now open. Is there anyone who would like to speak on the proposed continuation of the water availability assessment? Okay, so there's no one to speak. Need a motion to close the public hearing.
I second. Oh, I move to close the public hearing.
And I second her motion.
You guys sure about this now, right? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Item 2, consider resolution 24-03, continuing the current and existing level of water availability assessments for fiscal year 2024-2025.
Good afternoon, members of the board. Back in March, the Board of Directors adopted Resolution 2402 with the intention to continue current water availability assessment. Today before you is Resolution 2403, continuing the current level of water availability assessment for fiscal year 24-25. And in the current budget is proposed, this assessment will bring in the district $592,000. So it's up for discussion, and then we will make the recommendation that you guys approve Resolution 2403, continuing water availability assessment, but open for discussion.
Have there been any comments from the public?
No. Water availability is very consistent. For years it's been consistent, and it's stayed the same for a long time.
That comes on they're billed for that on our tax bill?
Yes, every parcel
Yes.
in the district is billed out, and with a maximum of $1,200, and the minimum parcel is $30 for the assessment.
Director Woods, comments?
No.
Director Arthur?
Nothing.
Director Leisure?
None.
Any others, Director Carroll?
No more.
Okay, I have none either. Now I need a motion.
Motion to accept and approve as written.
Here a second.
I second.
Motioned and second for approval. Cindy, could we have a roll call?
Director Archer?
Yay.
Director Coghill?
Yes.
Director Leeser?
Yes.
Director Wood?
Yes.
Director Giannini?
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 3, approving Resolution 2404 and adopting the proposed budget and compensation plan of the 29 Palms Water District for fiscal year 2024-25. General Manager?
At May's board meeting, the staff presented fiscal year budget 2024-25. So before you today is the resolution to adopt fiscal year budget 24-25. And again, if there's any discussion items, staff would just be looking to approve the resolution on the new fiscal year budget. And if there's any questions, Cindy is also here to help us with those questions on the budget.
Director Woods, any comments, criticisms, suggestions?
None, thank you.
Okay. Director Arthur?
Nothing.
Director Leader?
None.
Madam
None.
Okay. This is the same budget we talked about at the last.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you sneak anything in, Matt?
Yeah.
No sneaking in.
Okay, no further comments.
One thing, is we did have a draft budget. Cindy probably could talk about this better than I could. You usually, would you want to talk about that?
I was telling Matt earlier that generally speaking, when we go from May to June, in June it always changes because
Yeah.
during the budget process, we project how May is going to look and how June is going to look. And so there's changes, and there were no changes this time. They predicted right on, so it's the same budget that you saw last time.
So it's the same budget we talked about last board meeting, and just thought it was kind of interesting that we didn't have to do a budget adjustment just on this last, and it wouldn't have had to been very, a simple adjustment.
Yeah, it would have been
is what we
small, but I've never had that happen in my career yet, so that was the first.
Okay. Did we do a roll call yet? We didn't. did
No,
we?
I
motion.
move to approve the resolution and adopt the proposed budget and compensation plan for the 29 Palms Water District for fiscal year 24-25.
I'll second. Mike second.
Moved and seconded. Cindy, may we have a roll call vote, please?
Director Arthur?
Yay.
Director Cogman?
Yes.
Director Leeser?
Yes.
Director Woods?
Yes.
Director Giannini?
Yes.
Okay, approved. Item 4, emergency purchase of a new motor at treatment plant. Director, General Manager?
The fluoride removal plant has a 250 horsepower motor that at the booster station that goes into the finished water that is starting to fail. Before you today is an estimate, actually a quote plus tax from a company that we use anytime a motor or a pump seizes up. So Seltzer has motors on the counter, which is very rare. And before you today is an item being over my budget limit. Staff is making the recommendation that we make the purchase from Seltzer for $28,177.70 to purchase this motor to keep operations at the treatment plant redundant with what we're doing. And if the board has any questions, we can talk about it.
How much was it again? 28,000?
$28,177.70.
Is this the place where you would normally purchase a motor such as this?
Yeah, so Seltzer is a company, they used to be Berthney, and anytime we had issues with motors and pumps, you can either disassemble your motor, take it down, and they can check windings and check stuff on the motor. But they are also a company that is a fairly large company and have pumps and motors in stock. With this one being on stock and it being exactly what we need, it was the recommendation to go after this motor ASAP, especially with the fiscal year ending and we having some emergency funds to get this motor replacement. Is the other motor that's acting up fixable until we get it taken apart and get it down there for the windings checked and all the things that we do with a motor issue? We won't know, but this is definitely a company that we've used for 20 years here at the district.
This is the motor that's in the northeastern part of that plant, correct? The one at the far corner?
Yeah.
That big one?
Yeah. Not the big one as far as like pumping water into the plant, but the two pumps that will take water from the treated water into the distribution system. We have them in day on, day off situation. One of them is starting to have major failure.
Now, I see that this is a purchase price. Does it include installation?
The district would be doing the installation. So we do the motor pump sets ourselves. We would have an electrician come in and check behind us. We have a district electrician, and we'll get a crane involved. So we will save money not installing it through the company. We could have them come out and install it, but the district will be doing the installation of it.
No, you got a plan for it. The old one, do you know, do we have a plan for what we're gonna do with that?
We'll at least get it down there, or if the years show us that it's not worth it to take it there, sometimes they just go to recycling. There's a lot of copper in them. But sometimes if it's a small ping, the Seltzer can definitely take a look at it and see if it's replaceable, if we can fix it. A lot of times to break into those and redo the windings, a company is going to tell you it's probably cheaper to purchase the motor brand new.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the $28,000 you consider to be a good price for this, considering the volatility of the metals market?
Correct.
What's on this quote?
Yeah, it's hard to get these motors quoted out because there's nobody that has them in stock. This is a huge company that, again, has pumps and motors sitting around. So when they told Rob that they were sitting on the shelf, it was at a point where we need to go get it before it's not sitting on the shelf.
Before it's gone.
Very important
Exactly.
to get, and you know, free shipping to get it here at that cost. Again, just over my budget to say yes. No, typically, if this was under 25K, it wouldn't be as a board agenda item. So it is here today due to the fact of the price.
Yeah, Mike asked my questions, I'm good to go. My thought was if it's rebuildable, is it worth having as a spare for later? If it was cheap enough,
That's
but
my concern.
I think we're all thinking the same thought. If we can,
Heck,
if
me.
it's feasible enough to rebuild this thing and put it on our shelf, maybe that'd be the thing
If
to do.
not, we need to consider buying another backup, especially for those important treatment plant pumps and that. We need to have a spare backup.
The good thing with this company is this is that emergency company. Something comes down on a day where that one pump is down, let's say the treatment plant, and the treatment plant's a little tough now because now we have TP1 and TP2. But let's say TP1 goes down when we didn't have TP2, we rush then and we pay more money to get the motor fixed or a new motor, which
Right.
they usually have also on
Yeah.
standby. So
We should have one.
yeah, so having, but it just depends because this is a 250 horsepower motor. We've had them on standby before at the plant, and then they become just in the way for years sitting where they're
Yep,
sitting.
got
So
it.
you don't want them to be sitting all the time when Seltzer can be rotating through them,
Yeah.
and then we can get kind of the newest one that's sitting on their shelf. But not a bad idea to see if this is replaceable, and we can look into having ones sitting.
Or
How-
rebuild the old one and keep it for backup, or consider buying a new one for backup. Those,
Do we have an idea how old the motor is that's failing?
7 years.
7 years old? Okay.
is that typical, or?
They say the bearings go out about 5 years, so yeah.
So that's
we
pretty
got
good.
money out of it, yeah.
Wow.
Do they warranty those kinds of piece of equipment for a particular period of time or not?
90 days maybe, or 60
I don't know if
days.
they have a warranty, I'll have to ask.
yeah, and they're
On the
continuous
new one,
use,
I
right?
don't know
Yeah,
what the
new
standard would be.
installation, we'll get a better answer for you, but there's gonna be some kind of
Typical,
warranty.
yeah.
There's gonna be a 3-month. Now, sometimes if they don't do the install, it's not gonna be like, hey, if we do the install, it's a year. Really, it's switching a couple electric legs over, getting a crane truck in there to take the motor out. We've gotta pull a roof down, and it's in a metal building, so it's fairly easy. Again, treatment plant staff and distribution staff has done motor exchanges before, so, yeah, we don't usually typically, if we can get 7 years out of it when they're usually telling us 5 or 6.
That's good.
It's a good life of that motor.
Yeah. And we've
again, it's
got,
pumping, you know, 2,100 gallons a minute, 2.5 million gallons a day if we run 20-hour shift. So it works hard. And that's why always at the treatment plant, you have 1 day on, 1 day off, or even odd, and you can kind of rotate through those pumps and motors. So you try to build redundancy in your district. So if you ever have catastrophic failure, what's your backup to still produce water?
it's nice to know.
Backup that you have on the shelf waiting, because
Well,
$28,000 is not,
Yeah.
I mean, in our overall budget, that's a significant sum to me personally especially, but not in our overall budget to have a backup so that we keep our water pumping.
So if we lose this motor today, remember there's always the odd day one, so you're always still with one. with us to have time to get that other one here and installed, and we can install those fairly quick, so.
It's good to know.
To have one on the shelf is not a bad idea. We will look into that.
It's good to know that we have the expertise
Think
to.
Byram, what do you think? You know our budget better than we do.
You can afford it.
Thank you.
Hey, that lot across the street's not full yet.
I know. So we need good security across the street.
It's good to know we have the
No, I-
expertise in-house
Yeah.
to swap something like
Just
that
have
out.
enough to stay
Good to know
running
that.
for redundant.
Okay,
Make a pontoon boat.
Consent calendar. I was done.
Do we need to approve this?
we need to purchase it, right?
Yes, correct.
So we're gonna need
Motion.
a motion and a second to make the purchase?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Cindy, roll call vote?
Director Arthur,
Yes.
Director Coghill,
Yes.
Director Leeser,
Yes.
Director Woods,
Yes.
Director Giannini.
Yes.
Okay, item 4 has been approved. Item 5, consent calendar. Matters under the consent calendar are to be considered routine and will be enacted in a single motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless the board, staff, or the public request specific items be removed for separate discussion and action before the board votes on the motion to adopt. They are the minutes of the regular meeting held on May 22nd, 2024, and the audit list. Comments, questions, concerns? Motion?
I'll motion to accept the consent calendar as written.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded. Cindy, roll call vote?
Director Arthur,
Aye.
Director Coghill,
Aye.
Director Leeser,
Aye.
Director Woods,
Aye.
Director Giannini.
Aye.
Okay, item 6 is gone because there's nothing that's been removed. Item 7, management reports. Maintenance is up first. Michael?
Good evening, Board of Directors. Operation and Maintenance Department performed the following tasks during the month of May. Responded to 59 USAs, 0 mainline leaks, installed 4 new services, performed 4 leak audits, painted 38 fire hydrants, did 110 valves for the month, and sounded wells for May. There were a total of 522 customer service tasks performed, and there were 1,072 past due bills, totaled $6,170. And for the month of May, there's 28 shutoffs, and we're decreased 22% in May compared to 2023 for the pay meter station. And if the board has any questions, I'd be glad to answer any questions.
None for me?
Questions, Dr. Woods? Dr. Arthur? Dr. Leisure?
Thank you, Mike. No
Dr.
comments.
Giannini?
Is that 22% a significant amount in the decrease?
It is roughly almost 100,000 gallons out there at the pay meters. From
Wow.
last year to here, close to 80,000.
So are we still shutting down pot farms out there or what? Are people just moving?
It decreased from 2024 to 2023, so we're down 22% right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say necessarily pot farms, those have kind of seen their way out of here. The decrease, maybe people aren't hauling as much. Some of those Airbnbs are going away, so if you're hauling water to an Airbnb out in those areas and they're not Airbnb anymore, or it's not as busy, there's not as many runs. We do have some water haulers that seem like they stay really busy, but we don't see as much traffic out there at the meter stations that we were seeing.
Any other issues with that pay meter station?
We're pretty lucky. Where is that on here?
Okay.
It's actually 158,000 gallons. Where's the pay meter? Yes.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Water quality is up next. Superintendent Sheldon?
Water quality for May of 2024, chlorine level in the distribution system averaged at 0.42 milligrams per liter for the month of May. Bacteria samples, we took 40 samples throughout the distribution system, all came back absent for call alert. Fluoride samples, we took 15 samples throughout the distribution system, with the average being a 1.24 milligrams per liter of fluoride. Water production for the month of May, we were down 5% compared to a year ago, and we were down 23% compared to 2013.
Questions, Dr. Woods? Comment? Dr. Arthur?
None.
Dr. Giannini?
I have none. Thank you, Bob.
I have none here. Thank you, sir. Finance, Cindy?
Good evening.
David?
For the month of April, which is what is in your packet, the total net income, we're trending ahead by about $285,000. The reason for that is primarily the investment in class and the movement of money as the CDs were maturing. Matt was very busy moving stuff and maximizing the interest rate. Interest rates have stayed the same, about the same. They're at 5.5%. We like it that way, and we hope it holds. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for finance?
Mike?
Mike?
Nope.
No?
No,
Thank you,
I-
Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. And last on the list, but not last today, General Manager.
For the month, I just would want you guys to know that the district put on a tour for our GIS consultant. The tour actually was with a couple general managers from the Philippines and Bangladesh. So Noble, our GIS consultant, and I did a tour and then a luncheon. And so we started here and then at the plant. That was a really good interaction with some general managers and their international clients. So Noble, that does our GIS, is international as well.
Wow.
So that was nice to see some people from the Philippines and Bangladesh and then go to lunch. I had the opportunity to meet with the chairman and the CEO of Cadez Inc., Susan Kennedy. Talked about some amazing opportunities and great discussions with helping disadvantaged communities and their water efforts. So I'm hoping in the near future, the board and staff and management will have discussions on sustainability and water for years to come if the Cadez project can kind of come through our area and help a disadvantaged community, including treatment. So it was a very great one-on-one. She was here with nobody else, and I was really impressed with her. She's an amazing lady. The new Reset Hotel appears to be moving down pretty good. We installed our 5 services there, so you would see a big influx on next couple board reports. Those services were big services, like 2-inch services, 1.5-inch services. And the 2 fire lines are moving along. District staff is here today, and not for any reason, but they are here also because they've given me some insight on that vacuum trailer. So district staff would like to thank you guys for the vacuum trailer and what it's already done to our operations. So they're not here for that, but I'm kind of bringing it up in my management report that the flexibility of that equipment and what we're going to be able to do with having the vacuum trailer and multiple mini excavator, backhoe. We're making our district more aware of things that we need to be ready for in the future and multiple crews. So I just wanted to, from the guys coming to me and saying, hey, that excavator trailer has been awesome. I wanted to relay a message that the staff really thanks you for the equipment that we purchased for this district. And with that being said, if there's any questions, I'd be glad to
I have a
answer.
comment. I'm gonna jump. So if you guys want anything, put in a request for it. You know, get the equipment you need to do your jobs.
Exactly.
And not new shovels.
Yeah, work-related stuff,
Yes.
not anything.
Yeah, we all believe in, you have to have the right equipment to do your job safely. And if you see something out there that we don't see or your supervisors don't see, don't ask. Don't be afraid to ask.
Yeah, we've all done a hard labor job, except maybe, but she does a job I could never do. She's a hero in my estimation.
Okay. Any other questions of the general manager?
None for me?
Gloria? Okay. Item 8 is a closed session, public employee performance evaluation for the general manager. Item 9 is also a closed session for the employee organization, American Federation of State, County of Municipal Employees, Local 1902. And then we're going to come back for items 10 and 11. So, need a motion for an adjournment. Do we need one motion or two? One motion for both closed sessions.
I move we adjourn to closed session.
I'll second.
Okay. Moved and seconded, roll call vote? Or do we need a roll call? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we are in closed session.
All right. Coming out of closed session, item number 8, public employee performance evaluation. There is nothing to report in accordance with the Brown Act. All right, report out of closed session. Item number 9, conference with labor negotiator, 29 Palms Water District and the local 1902 Employees Union. The board voted 5-0 to approve the memorandum of understanding between 29 Palms Water District and AFS-CME Local 1902. The term of the MOU is June 1, 2024 and May 31st, 2028. Questions, comments, agreements, disagreements? Yeah, we're done then. That's it. Oh. God, go back to it. I guess I took it over and... All right, are there any items that you want put on the agenda for the future?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
I would like a feasibility study on the health insurance option for water board directors.
Okay. Got that, Matt?
Yes.
Are there any others? Director Arthur? Director Leeser?
None.
Director Cockhill? All right. Any motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Adjourned.